Hey, Mark, it's a brand new week. You know what that means?
Yeah, it's time for us to eat some sushi.
It is, but it's also time for Sony to introduce a new camera.
There's only one thing that we love more than eating food with chopsticks, and that's photography.
Oh, we are excited today to talk about some incredible things. But before we get started, we want you guys to crush that subscribe button.
If you're not subscribed already, hit the button, crush the button,
That's
push the button,
right.
do something to the button and subscribe.
And if you're already subscribed, start liking right now.
I'm gonna grab some sushi.
Okay, while he's grabbing sushi, let me tell you about what we're talking about today. Today, we're gonna first talk about a brand new tripod that's carbon fiber, converts into a monopod.
It's pretty cool.
Waterproof. This thing's crazy off the hook.
But you know what I want to talk about? Something that is so exciting. Everybody is just gonna be hanging on the cliff to hear about this.
What is it?
Insurance.
Woo!
And actually, this is pretty cool.
This is an important thing.
Yeah, it's very important.
And then the next thing we're going to talk about is, you know, everybody's talking about the Sony A7III, the Mark III.
That's right.
And we were able to actually put it in our hands about a week and a half
We held it, touched
ago.
it, played with it, shot with it.
So we're going to give you our first opinions review of the Sony A7 Mark III.
And then you are going to talk a little bit about Photoshop. I mean, you always talk about Photoshop, but like
just when you think Photoshop can't get any better,
brand new feature
it
that
does.
is really, really cool.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to want to hang on for that one. It's amazing.
What
so,
a great day. So
Great.
why don't we get started?
Let's get started.
So
That tripod.
yeah, you know, some of you have seen, I had to clean my chopsticks off there. Some of you have been seeing this company for the last couple of years called, it looks like it's called Suru or S-U-R-U-I.
I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Well,
until I
guess
actually
what?
asked somebody.
It's pronounced Sure.
Yep.
But, you know, they started off, it looked like, oh, this is just another import company. No. Man, we went and we met with Paul
Yep.
from Sure, and we looked at the equipment there. This stuff is just incredible.
So let's just say this. We were big Manfrotto fans, and I still am. I like the Manfrotto product.
Oh, look at this beautiful
That's a
sashimi.
nice piece of sashimi there.
Yeah.
You're so happy to sashimi, aren't you? But anyways, getting back to the tripod. So we were just kind of going through, we were looking at these different tripods after, you know, our experience with Manfrotto. And you came across this company actually about a year ago.
Yeah, so I was doing some video work, and I needed a monopod. And I found this monopod at watching YouTube where it could stand on its own. Now, Sure will tell you, no, it doesn't do that because they don't want to be liable if your camera falls over. But I'm going to tell you, I put my Sony A7 on that thing to do interviews, and I can walk away from it.
Yep.
It's that good.
Here's the funny thing, not to prolong this too long, but I actually got my monopod the exact same week you did, Manfrotto.
Yeah.
And I was pretty jealous of it.
That's right. We're talking his feet are this big, my feet on mine are this big, and it's amazing. So, but what we were most impressed with is they've got a brand new tripod they introduced.
Yep.
This thing, it's kind of a hybrid travel tripod. It's just the right size.
Perfect size, carbon fiber.
It's waterproof.
Waterproof.
What that means when you go out to take those trash address pictures or you're shooting out in the river, when you take it and put it in the trunk of your car doesn't get all wet because they're all sealed. It's not going to get in there. Thing's light. The center post comes off and you can screw it onto one of the legs that comes off, and now you've got this super light carbon fiber monopod.
So this thing is called the N1205X, right? It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But the really cool thing, what you were just saying, is that one of the leg screws off, screws onto the center post of this tripod. You take the center post out, it's now a monopod. I mean, to have that kind of conversion, it was fast. Like Paul showed us, he unlocked it, boom, click, boom. Within like 30 seconds, he built his monopod from his tripod.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a new tripod, look at Sure. We don't work for them. We're not sponsored by them. We don't have any equipment, other equipment we've bought from them.
Yep.
But
in fact,
take a look.
Paul kind of showed it to us.
Yeah.
Take a look at what he showed us. All right, so check this out. We're standing at Sure with Paul, Director of Marketing for Sure. Mark and I just got incredibly excited about this brand new tripod. If you can get excited about a tripod, this is the one to get excited about. Check this out. Watch him open up the legs on this thing and how easy this is. Paul, go for it.
So a great thing about this is the Sure A1205A tripod, and the beauty of it is how quickly you can open the legs. So with one half twist, and then you're ready to go. Simple as that. So you can open it and deploy this thing as fast as you possibly can. And another really great thing about this tripod is it actually has a monopod.
Yeah, check. This is what got us really pumped up. Check this out.
So right here you have the monopod leg. Actually, it's not that one. Let me try this one right here. Monopod leg twists off. And then what you do is you actually use your center column to actually add on to create a full-size monopod. It's a full set kit, so it comes with a head and very, very compact. Perfect for the traveler that's out there, and it's beefy enough that you can put some pretty big gear on.
Very sweet. Thanks, Paul.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you. Cool.
So once again, that company is Sony. Check them out. Their stuff is just phenomenal. This is a company that's on the rise.
So let's go with my really exciting point. The cliffhanger of the show is insurance.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm going to switch over to Noodles while you're doing
Noodles.
the...
So here's the thing. Insurance, if you are a photographer, if you're a photographer getting paid, you better have insurance, not just on your gear, but on your business. So one of the things that we found...
So we talked today, right? We were saying, if you're a wedding photographer, and let's just be conservative, and you owned a D750, a 70 to 200, 24 to 70, and a new flash. How much are you looking at?
Like $65,000, $7,000.
Exactly. And most of us, if you're shooting weddings, you have two bodies, so you're looking at 10 grand that you're carrying in one little bag.
One little bag. One little mistake of leaving it behind, getting stolen, being crushed by a moving truck.
Getting shoved into the swimming pool at a out-of-control wedding, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
You're out of business.
Or someone tripping over your tripod or your light stand or knocks it over and hits someone on the head, you're out of business, right?
Can
Someone's
you recover
you for $1
from
million.
that happening?
So if you don't have insurance, you got to have it. Now, the company that I've been using for the last 10 years is Hill & Usher. I actually had a claim with them that went so incredibly smooth. Yeah. It was unbelievable. So we had a chance to actually talk to some of the guys at Hill & Usher the other day. Mm-hmm. And we're not sponsored by Hill & Usher. I just have a personal experience with them. You want to check them out. They use the Hartford for their photographer insurance. In fact, most photographers that are insured go through Hill & Usher. They have something called Package Choice.
They're the go-to guys for
it
photo
includes
stuff.
all your equipment, computers. It includes insurance that if you lost your memory card, it covers the wedding. I mean, all this kind of stuff. But you can find out more directly from them. But we actually had a chance to talk to them. Let's actually see what he has to say.
All right, so we're here at the Hill & Usher booth, and we are here with Taylor from Hill & Usher. Hey, Taylor, just tell us real quick what you guys do for photographers.
So back in 1999, we established a specialty practice here at Hill & Usher, focused on photographers, and over the last nearly 20 years, we've really expanded our product offering to cater to all types of visual arts, but still primarily photography, and small video companies is our specialization. So we have 4 or 5 standardized policies that we then customize to fit the needs of photographers. All of our policies are placed with A-rated insurance companies, so there's financial stability behind it. You have the assurance that if you do have a claim, you have a strong insurance company to support the claims process. The policies generally include a liability piece, errors and omissions, camera coverage, replacement cost is included, and a variety of other property coverages, including computers, data loss, contents, etc. So depending on whether you're very small, you might pay in the $400 to $500 range. You get a little bit larger, you might pay $2,500 or so a year. But we'd love to work with you and customize something that's just right fitting for you.
I can tell you from past experience, I've been a Hill & Usher customer actually for 8 years, I think now. Fantastic to work with. So just really, really good guys out there. Highly recommend it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks you. Appreciate it, man.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, that Taylor, he's a great guy. That was fun sitting down. I didn't think I would enjoy talking about insurance.
No, and what was interesting is we've actually been shopping for an additional insurance policy in the last month or so. One of our policies is expiring, and so I got a new quote from them. This sounds like a commercial. Like,
exactly. We almost cut our policy in half. Almost. Like 40%.
And for better insurance for this portion. So
that's what we're talking about, insurance, right?
A link below. Let's talk about the fun thing.
This is what you guys have all stayed around for. Sony announced the A7 Mark III, right? We found it's the Mark III. It was funny. We walked up to the Sony area, and there was a Sony rep there, and I said, "Oh, Steve, look, there's the A7," and you went, Mark III, and the guy went, wow, someone actually said it right. And he's like, it is the Mark III.
We got pretty excited.
Yeah, so, but anyways, that's not what we want to talk about. We want to talk about, we actually were able to put this thing in our hand.
We played with it, we touched it, we used it, we shot with it.
There's so many new features to this thing. So if you've been living under a rock and you didn't know, you know, once again, Sony came out with a new camera.
So Sony comes out with a new camera, what seems like every week. I mean, that's a little faster than reality, but at least every quarter.
And we're fans of Sony, so this is not a dig on Sony. It just seems like they're just coming out so quickly
fast
that it's almost like, oh, buyer's remorse, should I have waited?
They're innovating the market. Here's the cool thing about the 3, and this is the question that we've got from all of our crowd, right, is that people are saying, wait, they just came out with the R3, now they got the 3, what's the difference between an R3 and a 3? Well, there is a big difference.
Yeah.
And it's called $1,300. So
it is.
You know, the R3 is...
And right away, you're going to go, when we start talking about the specs here in a second, you're going to go, well, it sounds like it's a better camera. Well, guess what? It's not weather sealed. The R is going to be weather sealed.
Correct.
You know, so you've got that a stronger body. It's got some other features in there.
It's 24.2 megapixels.
Where the R is 42.
42. So, you know, you're losing. But that's not a bad thing necessarily.
No.
Because of low light capability.
Correct.
That 3 is actually.
So listen to this. The Mark III, it's natively, I believe it's somewhere right around 15,000 ISO, but they say it's expandable up to 204,000 ISO.
It's actually native 51,000.
Yeah, 51,000. It is just incredible low light, and it's just crazy that it can do that. And it's all because of this new backlit sensor.
So a couple things I noticed holding it in my hand, right? And that's a true test. Everybody's making a great camera nowadays, whether it's Sony, Nikon, Olympus, Fuji, Canon. They're all making great cameras. But this one, compared to some of the older Sonys, now you shoot with Sony.
I do.
We're both Nikon shooters as a whole, but you do have a Sony.
I use Sony
A7.
for video.
So, and one thing I noticed holding this compared to your older A7, this one was far more comfortable. The grip is deeper.
It is. It's the same body as the R. So they've actually upgraded the body. Much more comfortable. And like you said, it's that deeper hand grip.
Yep.
That's what we were noticing with a lot of the mirrorless cameras. They have changed this year the shape so they feel better in the hand.
It just felt really good in the hand. The other thing that was really cool is the speed of this thing. So remember, we actually shot with an A9 during the eclipse.
Yes.
So we went up and looked at the full eclipse.
We were so impressed with, what, 20 frames a second?
I don't even remember what it was, but the thing was blazing fast, right? I held down the button and it was like shooting a movie. But this little camera, which, by the way, sells for $19.99. So it's a pretty good deal for what you get here.
Exactly.
It was 10 frames per second, RAW or JPEG.
Yeah.
I don't know of many people other than our friend Steve who shoots sports. Like, do you need more than 10 frames per second?
I don't think so. And here's the other thing. They have mechanical, but they also have the silent shutter.
Which is huge for
as a wedding shooter, to be able to go to silent shooting, or even a lot of you that are street photographers. It is awesome to have no shutter sound. So that's a huge factor. But here's what I think is the coolest thing. This is the thing that makes me go, I want a 7.3. Guess what it got? What did it get from the A9?
That focusing system.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing. Like the eye tracking, the eye focus.
Yeah. 693 points. It covers 93% of the entire area.
Yeah.
So only 7% is not being focused on.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So it's like 693 and then contrast focus points. So it uses a hybrid focus system. 2 different types of focusing system. It uses the linear focus plus a hybrid contrast. So it's actually focusing on the difference between lights and darks.
Yeah.
Or depth of field.
Yep. But here's what's cool. So as Nikon shooters, we always talk about you've got to do back button focusing. So, and I think that is the way to shoot pictures. However, if you're a Sony shooter, you have that eye autofocus. This system is so blazing fast and so cool. They were showing a girl spinning around, and every time she would come around, by the time the first eye popped into frame, it instantly you could see the square following the eye, and every shot was right on focus on the eye.
It was absolutely amazing.
So, again, if you're somebody that's going like, this is what I struggle with, give me a reason to move to Sony. That's one reason right
People
there.
People are going to think we're Sony fanboys. We're getting so excited about this. But here's what I was so excited about. And I'm starting again to sound like that Sony fanboy, but this is pretty cool. This thing has 5-axis optical stabilization built into the camera. Now, which is just one of those things that I think is amazing.
And here's what it's great for video. So we've been looking at like, what's our next version of video camera we're gonna move to? And we've been really seriously looking at Olympus, because Olympus was the first one that we've seen that actually is doing the optical stabilization on the sensor.
Yep.
And that was reason alone to like, wow, you don't have to buy you don't have to buy the stabilized lenses, which are much cheaper. But now all of a sudden, boom, Sony comes out with, look at us. We've got this optically stabilized.
Makes a huge difference, an absolutely huge difference. So the other thing, real quick, is the 15 stops of dynamic range.
Yeah. We got to put this into like, I don't know, into something that we all understand, right? When we shot 35 millimeter film, you could get like 5 stops of dynamic range, and that was the argument back, you know, in the 70s, was like, you need to shoot medium format because you can shoot 7 to 9 stops of light with medium format. Guess what? 15 stops, like twice.
So if you do happen to make a mistake when you're shooting, right, you overexpose it, you can pull those highlights way, way back.
Exactly.
If you underexpose it, you can push those shadows way, way up. 15 stops of dynamic range is unbelievable.
We just live in a great time.
If
you're a video person, this thing shoots 4K, and it shoots with the S-Log 2 and 3.
Yep.
So you've got all these great options. It actually has the HDMI output where you can actually get twice the color resolution as just recording it natively into the camera. So there's some great things with video out there. So this is just one of those cameras right now. Everybody's going, it's going to eat Sony and Nikon. I don't know if it's going to eat them, but
Canon and Nikon.
Canon and Nikon. They can't eat themselves. Exactly. But anyways, this is going to be one of those ones that's making everybody stand up and go, that's a lot in a $2,000 camera.
It is. So $1,300 less than the...
Why do I was going to say, why do I hate my A7? I love my A7. But what is the one thing I don't like about it?
Batteries.
Oh my goodness. I have to carry like a fanny pack of batteries when I shoot with it because, you know, I shoot mostly video with it and I shoot for, you know, 30 minutes of like, oh, battery's dead, put another one in.
Yep.
And if I leave a battery in, it's just sitting in the backpack. Next time I open it, I'm like, how did I lose 80% of my battery overnight sitting? They put the same battery that's in the A9, the 7R in this thing. 710 shots.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, you know, from 2 Nikon fanboys to maybe the Sony fanboys out there, I would, if you're looking for a new camera, take a look at the Sony. It's pretty amazing. Wait, how did you eat so many noodles already? I must have been talking too much.
I
This
think
is like
so.
a never-ending noodle bowl.
I'm the one that's always talking, it seems
But hey,
like.
hey, just stop talking for a second.
Okay.
Now, you showed me this brand new feature in Photoshop that we're going to tell everybody about, which actually blew me away.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think Photoshop could get any cooler. And I'm not a Photoshop guy, I'm a Lightroom guy, but this was pretty amazing.
Yeah, so let me show you right now what I learned just a couple weeks ago. All right, so this is gonna go really, really fast. So don't blink, watch the screen. We wanna cut somebody out of an image. Look at how fast we can do it now in Photoshop. So let's take a look. So I've got this weightlifter here and I wanna cut him out of this image. Well, normally I'm going to grab my pen tool or I'm going to grab something like my magic wand or my quick selection tool, but not anymore. I'm actually going to go up and I'm going to grab either my magic wand or my quick selection tool, and what's going to happen is you're going to notice a new button appears called Select Subject. All you have to do is click the button, let Photoshop do the work, and guess what? It is going to select out your subject. How about I grab my zoom tool and I'll show you what I mean. Look at the selection it just made all on its own. Now if I were to mask that out, I've now cut that person out of this. I can place them into a new background. I can use my refine edge if there's some areas that need to be worked on, but it does all the heavy lifting for you. It is that quick and that easy. So that is the Select Subject button that is now in the quick selection tool and the magic wand inside the newest version of Photoshop. So you're gonna think twice about cutting people out of stuff now? I mean, that is so easy to do. It's incredibly fast.
No, in fact, when I used it the other day to make a little splash on Facebook, it's like, oh, how did that work? I mean, it was pretty cool.
That was like, wow, Steve's getting really good at Photoshop.
Yep. So I was making this thing on Facebook for our photo walk that we just did, right? And that's the last thing I think just want to share with people is we do a ton of workshops out there. If you've ever been to one of ours, they're a lot of fun. If you haven't been to one of ours, they're a lot of fun.
That's right. And if you're going to a workshop that isn't any fun,
don't go. It's just to waste your money, waste your time, because photography should be fun. And that's what we try to do, is bring the fun back to photography, because a lot of people take it way too serious. Yeah. As you can probably tell from our show and all our videos, we're not terribly serious guys. We have a passion for photography.
We really do.
But it's not all about the epicness of what we're trying to do.
But we just did a photo walk. We do these probably about 4 times a year.
Yeah, once a quarter.
And, we've been doing some down in different parts of the state and things, and they are just a fun day. What did we have? We had 30-something photographers.
30 photographers and 12 models.
Yeah, and a dozen models out there, and took a walk around downtown Sacramento.
The whole purpose of this thing was to have fun.
Yeah.
Hang out with like-minded people.
That's right. We even forced ourselves to leave the lights in the car so it did not become about, I've got to make the great photo. It just became about, hey, I can just think about composition. I can talk to people. I can, and we just, I think we achieved.
It was actually freeing to just have the camera by itself.
It really was.
But yeah, it was a great day. If you ever get a chance, if you're around where we are, and we're all over the place, and you hear that we're doing one of our photo walks, we announce them on our website. We announce them on Facebook, a lot of times on YouTube Live as well.
That's right. So if you just crush that subscribe button right now, you're going to be notified when we have a workshop coming up, and maybe in your area soon.
But seriously, that subscribe button is awesome, because you will be notified by YouTube about this amazing channel. And I'm not saying that because it's us.
That's right.
But it is pretty amazing. We have over 200 and close to 250 videos up at this point that are instructional, that are fun. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. So,
and guess what? We've been listening to you, so we're trying to make some changes, and we're trying to show you the things that you want to know. So if there's something that you'd like to see us do, put it in the comments below. We do read the comments. We do
read every one of them.
Reply to the comments. Be nice. Don't hurt our feelings. Now, we're big boys. We can handle it.
That's right.
Let us know what's going on. Again, like and subscribe.
But hey, I'm going to finish my bowl of noodles, and until next time, we always want you to remember, say sushi. Or noodles.